Happy Friday, y'all. Thanks so much for joining another Camp Quarantine. Go ahead, hit that share button if you're watching on Facebook. For those of you on YouTube, welcome. Share it with a friend. We're about to get started in just a second. It's National Camping Month. That means we've got folks ready to share all kinds of camping tales. Grab those drinks, grab a friend. Be sure to hit share. Week 12 Camp Quarantine starts right now. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. How are you? Welcome to Atlanta, Georgia. Another sunny, gorgeous day here at Camp Quarantine. For those that have been here before, you know what we're all about. But we want to welcome you. My name is Amrit B. from Hustlin' Hospitality. I will be your host this evening. This is our 12th show. Absolutely fantastic. If you'd asked me many weeks ago where we would be, I certainly would not have said still here on my back porch entertaining the likes of you all. But we are doing this for charity. We have supported great causes. We will continue to do so. So do us a favor, if you don't mind. Click on this side over here, the share button, and share this wonderful experience with some family members and friends that you're not able to be with because you were staying at home and staying safe at home, that of which we thank you. We've got a great show for you today. Let me give you a quick rundown of how this works. Every 5 minutes, we have brand new guests, a whole new slate of guests. Who's aboard today? Well, if you didn't know, it happens to be National Camping Month. So where do you think? We're outdoors. If you're outdoors, we want to see it. We want to hear it. We want to have you guys interact. This is a live show. You never know what you'll see. We've had kids on board saying crazy things. We've had folks from the NFL on. You'll never know who you're going to run into on Camp Quarantine, and we want to thank you so much for joining us. Been an incredible and hectic week. Last week we were here on Friday. It was June 19th, Juneteenth. We had some great guests talking about that holiday. We have some great small business owners that we're going to share with you in just a bit. But what else we got? Let's talk about what's been going on this past week with the news. Well, for those that didn't know, of course, Florida's got to be in the news. If you didn't hear, Florida today reenacted a new law. I don't want to say that they've gone back into quarantine, but bars within Florida are no longer being permitted to serve alcohol on the premise. Think about that for a second. If you walk into a bar, what are you expecting to purchase? A beverage, of course, but sitting there and enjoy yourself. So Florida, keep doing you. We appreciate it. Absolutely. Give yourselves a round of applause, but do stay safe. What else has been going on? Well, Major League Baseball. For those of you who don't know and didn't catch us on week two was April 3rd for us, our second show. And that would have been something that is very near and dear to my heart, being the start of baseball season. Well, I am excited to say that on July 23rd and 24th, the Major League Baseball will be back for 60 games with a designated hitter, with a runner on second, should it go to extra innings, with a 30-man roster. So I don't know that it's the same baseball that you and I may appreciate or love. I'm just ecstatic to hear that it may come back. I say may because who knows what'll happen. But nevertheless, we are going to get started. Like I said, we've got an incredible slate of guests. We have DJ Jigger Thukarar on to close out today, so be sure and stay tuned for that. Grab your dancing shoes and get ready to boogie. But I wanted to get started with an individual of mine. Many of my peers we've brought on the show, but this young lady has been doing incredible things all on her own for a number of years. Her name is none other than Candace Harris. Candace, I'd like to invite. Candace, are you there?
Hey, Emmerich.
Candace, now you are normally an Atlanta native. You and I know each other from Georgia Tech, but you're out in Los Angeles this week?
Yes, that's correct. I got married at the end of last year, so now I'm bi-coastal between Atlanta and Los Angeles.
Congratulations, like myself, not married, but with the bi-coastal lifestyle. So
Right,
we welcome you here, but Candace, I brought you aboard today, not only because you're an absolutely stellar individual and one of my favorite human beings on the planet, and I'm not just saying that to butter you up, but did you know we celebrate every day here on Camp Quarantine? And not only is it National Camping Month, not only is it National DJ Month, and we're celebrating both those things later on in the show, but maybe you didn't know that today happens to be National Beautician's Day. Did you know that?
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I actually didn't know that.
See, well, we're sharing new things all day and celebrating at the same time. Well, why don't you share with a little bit of background on some of the folks why we brought you on now that you know that it is Beautician's Day?
Yes, so I know we're mostly all quarantined. I actually have a hair care company where we provide personalized guidance based on your hair type and texture. So as you can see, I'm rocking a fro today, but we cater to all ethnicities, all hair types, and most of us haven't been able to go to the salon for the past couple of months. So we guide you through the products to use, ingredients, and everything you need to take care of your hair at home. And we just launched a new mobile app this week where you can actually take a photo of your hair and it'll analyze your hair type and actually tell you which products, ingredients, and everything you need to reach your hair goals. So I'm so excited to get this out. So it's meant to be, hair care in the palm of your hand.
So now I'm gonna back you up just a little bit, Candace. I know your story very well, but for those who are watching at home or in their backyard or outdoors camping, now that people are getting out, we have people that are mentioning that they're in all kinds of places. So be sure to comment below. We'd love to share where some of you all are from, but share a little bit about your background. Talk about Myavana and Texturize and maybe how that came into be, if you don't mind.
Yeah, well, my background's actually in computer science, so I'm solving this problem from the perspective of technology. I went to Georgia Tech. Of course, that's how we became friends, and started the company because it's mostly a trial and error process of figuring out what to use for your hair. So I know the ladies can relate to this, and also the guys, guys who have curly hair or have probably seen their wives, their sisters, their mothers, trying to figure out this hair thing. And I knew I always wanted to be an entrepreneur and had the chance to enter a pitch competition in undergrad and basically create your own invention. So I wanted to blend my computer science background with hair care, which is a huge passion of mine, and started the company a few years later. So I did this a year out of college, and I've been working on it ever since. So for all the entrepreneurs out there, if you have any questions, I'll let you know everything because we've been in business for 8 years now. So it's been
8 years. That's absolutely incredible. We've had a lot of entrepreneurs that have been on our show, and we love to spotlight these small business owners that are doing great things. Tell us a little bit about, I guess, how the pandemic may have affected you, or things that you guys have pivoted from or transitioned to, how things may be a little bit different, certainly now than, I guess, the previous 7 years in business.
Yeah, I mean, the pandemic really caught everyone by surprise. So, actually, we do have a hair analysis service where we mail you a kit in the mail. And you can send in your hair strands to our lab, and we do a scientific assessment. But the lab space closed. USPS, shipping was backed up, so we had to just stay completely virtual. And our demand went up because now there were so many women at home who couldn't go to their stylists, and so a lot of women were either doing their hair from start to finish for the first time, or um, just figuring out what to do to look presentable on Zoom or whatever they may be working on at the time. And so our demand went up. We started doing virtual hair coaching, which became a new service for us. So our consultants would get on video with you and actually walk you step by step of what to do from start to finish. And then, of course, we had the marketing campaign planned out to release our mobile app, but the timing was just off because our ambassadors in the commercial were getting ready to go out. And of course, everyone was under stay at home orders. So the context of the commercial no longer fit. And all those things, um, the restrictions have started to lift, but it looks like we're going right back to the beginning of the quarantine. We just found a window to get the commercial out there, just so that um, our customers can start using it. And so it was a complete change of plans for us, and also pivoting to help customers at home with their hair, which was a whirlwind for us. But you have to adjust whenever the market changes. So that's how it's been going for us.
So if anybody knows how to beat adversity, it's you, especially in staying in business for 8 years. I think that's absolutely a necessity. Now, you mentioned this commercial. I've got it here. I don't know if you want to lead us into it a little bit with about who we're going to see, because you've got some pretty heavy hitters here.
Yeah, absolutely. So as mentioned, I wanted to bring on brand ambassadors that related to our market, but also had ties to Atlanta as well. So in the commercial, you'll see two popular with the wife of rapper Ludacris. They're all phenomenal women, very, very supportive, and want to help businesses, especially women-owned businesses, black-owned businesses succeed. And so they came on board, and they were part of the first campaign.
Candace, we've got a lot of wind in the back, so I'm going to see if we can't catch you in just a second again. But I'm going to go ahead and share your commercial that you just worked on, and maybe we can get you in a second here that without a little bit of the wind.
I'm late again.
Carrie!
Oh, whoa.
Good morning. Why are you not ready yet? And what is going on with that hair?
I know. I just woke up.
You ever heard of Maya Vana?
Maya, what?
Okay. What is that?
Let's just see. Yeah,
let me see.
Okay.
So, it's an app for your smartphone. So all you have to do is download the app, take a picture, and it'll analyze your hair and tell you exactly what products work best for you for your hair.
No way.
Fabulous.
See, I told you.
You were right.
See?
Maya Vana.
Have you subscribed?
Yay, cool, right?
Are you kidding me? When I first saw that and you posted that, I wanted to just come there and give you a big old hug. First, I don't know if that's like a no-no, but I will do it anyways, at least virtually. But yeah, you had Kerry Washington on there, Eudoxie Bridges, who's wife of my absolute favorite human on the planet, or at least entertainer. We'll say that. That's the one and only Ludacris. But how did you land that? How receptive were that? How did you film that during this time and get it out there? Just a little bit on that, because I'm still picking my jaw up off the floor.
Yeah, so actually, this actually started a year ago. So last July, we were in New Orleans for the Essence Festival, and I had a chance to meet Latoya Luckett. And what's so funny is I saw her speaking on stage, and in my head, I was like, it would be really great to work with her because she's so relatable, so down to earth. Ended up meeting with her. We exchanged information, and about a month later, I got in touch with her manager. And I presented the concept to them. I told them we were preparing to launch a mobile app, and we were looking for our first set of cover girls. So our ambassadors to represent the brand, and presented my vision. And I actually, at the time, she was part of a web series with Carrie Hilson and Adoxy Bridges. So the three of them together really illustrated friendship, authentic, girlfriends who are, there for each other. They help each other with their hair and beauty and things like that. And I was like, they would be just the perfect trio. And so I told them, I actually would love to work with all three of you. And so they shared, basically took it back to the girls, and they were all interested in the business. And so I had a chance to work on my first deal memo to bring on the ambassadors. Worked on the partnership agreement, presented that to them. And by a blessing, a huge blessing, also we had some angel investors come on at the same time. So we were able to, cover a budget to shoot the commercial and all of that was involved. And so that's how it came together. And the thing about timing is we actually shot this commercial at the end of last year. So this was before
Wow.
the quarantine started, and we had basically just been waiting for the right timing to get it out. So thankfully, we were able to do it before all the production stopped, and that's how we were able to to roll it out.
I applaud you. I am not surprised. You are absolutely one of the most ambitious and admirable individuals that I know. So thank you so much for your time. Candace, how can folks find you or learn more about My Havana?
Yes, you can find me on social media at Candy V Harris. And you can also go to myavana.com for more information, and find us on social at Myavana Hair Care.
I love it. Thanks so much for the time, Candace. Anything else you want to leave our audience with?
Thanks for having me on, and I'll just tell everyone to keep your head up with all that's going on and try to make things as positive as it can possibly be.
Thanks so much, Candace. Appreciate it. Candace Harris, everybody. Now, one of the tenets of hustle and hospitality is just that, and nobody better than Candace herself exudes that, and that being, you never know who you're going to run into. You never know who you're going to meet, but send those DMs. Reach out. You see how she had that partnership and commercial come into being. So I applaud her and can't thank her enough for being on the show. Another individual of mine a friend of mine, that I happened to run into that I'm very excited to share is somebody else who is celebrating another holiday today. I work from, let's see if I can get him. I work from home, and I'm privileged to also be able to work with this guy. Now, many of you guys have seen Rascal on the show a few times. He knows his celeb status, but today happens to be National Take Your Dog to Work Day. So for those of us who are usually work from home and are very privileged to be able to have that opportunity, we have another individual, Miss Jen Choi, who's in Atlanta as well with Robert. Hey,
Hi.
how are you? We've got little furry friends over here, Jen, huh?
Say hi. This is my coworker, Robert. He's rocking his pride tie because, it's Pride Month. And he's been the best coworker I could ask for. The past 3 months have kind of always, every day's been like Take Your Dog to Work Day. But, it's been an absolute joy to have him by my side.
Jen, talk to us. You're in Atlanta as well. Obviously, oh my gosh, he's sporting a pride tie. I could not even think of a better thing to be wearing. How very affectionate and appropriate for this. Now, Robert is what? Aside from your best friend, the best looking dog, human, confidant, all these things, what kind of breed is Robert?
He is a Cavachon, so that's half Cavalier King Charles Spaniel and half Bichon Frise, and so they're really meant to look kind of like fluffy teddy bears. They're hyperallergenic. They don't shed, so they don't shed. They don't bark. They're just a really friendly breed. Great coworkers. Robert's actually an attorney, so he's a human rights lawyer. He will bark for justice. So
we all know what it takes to get views on online, and that being just have a puppy present. But I brought you on today not only because it was National Work with Your Dog, sorry, Take Your Dog to Work Day, but you were also sporting a mask, which I think is very appropriate and important. Can you share with us what you have on your mask?
Ooh, it's Robert's, but yes, I have a mask that is of Robert. Robert, do you see the comparison? For me, obviously, wearing a mask is, so imperative right now, given we've seen kind of the influx of COVID rising. So, if I have to wear a mask, I want to wear one that will spread some joy. And what I'm actually doing is I'm printing a bunch of these and sending them out to my friends. I think, and the condition is you have to wear it, one, for your own safety and also the safety of others, but also to just spread the cuteness of Robert.
I love the initiative and certainly the help. We worked with a few other folks. We've brought on some small businesses and things like that have had masks. We worked with the Spread Smiles individuals as well. But I wanted to thank you for certainly your take and spreading, obviously safety during this time. So today is Take Your Dog to Work Day. Do you mind sharing a little bit about where you work and kind of the way things have changed briefly?
Yeah, so you guys can't see, but I'm wearing an Atlanta Hawks jersey for Trae Young. I work at the Atlanta Hawks. I'm the director of innovation for the Hawks and State Farm Arena. As you guys know, we're in a really unprecedented time with COVID and with sports being suspended, obviously in March. It's been such a really interesting time, right? We've never faced anything like this in any of our sports leagues, but in America, the NBA is posed to resume the season in Orlando in a very controlled environment. One thing I'm particularly proud of, working in the NBA is we've put together a really comprehensive safety plan, right, in regards to how do we look at the COVID situation, especially as Florida cases are rising, to create, a safe environment for players and staff. So we're excited. Obviously, it's a really fluid situation, but this is unprecedented times, so we're really charting new territories here. But I'm really proud of the commitment the NBA has to the safety and security of players and staff. So we'll see, guys. The new NBA season starting in December. We are literally in uncharted territories. But I think this is a time where a lot of us could use sports. I think a lot of us miss it, and it's definitely kind of a unifying factor. But obviously, the first priority is doing it safely. So we can't wait to invite everyone, Atlanta and otherwise, back to State Farm Arena when we do reopen, hopefully to fans when the new season starts. So can't wait to have you guys join us.
So I mentioned the MLB obviously released a kind of came to terms. What is the NBA's plan currently?
Yeah, so basically we've invited 22 teams to compete in really kind of more of a playoff kind of situation. The thing that obviously is a little bit different from the NBA is that we understand that some players are not comfortable returning to play, right, for various reasons. One being obviously the COVID situation, but the NBA is asking players to essentially remain in a bubble for about 3 months. So it's a big ask, but I think where NBA leads the way is players have a choice. It does not affect their contract or, anything of the other. I think a lot of players want to return, but obviously some players are concerned. So, I commend the NBA for letting it be kind of an individual decision. But that's where we are. We're set to resume in Orlando, really in, again, a controlled environment. The plan to resume the NBA season, that was reviewed. It's an extensive return to play, and it's been reviewed by a lot of epidemiologists and medical folks, including Dr. Fauci, who you may have seen on television. And, we are being as creative and innovative as we can in this situation. But obviously, again, we are in uncharted territory. So, we are doing the best we can, but I'm confident in kind of the leadership and direction.
I love it. Can we get Robert on here to say bye maybe just one more time? Gosh, I love seeing that too.
Yeah. Robert has greatly enjoyed Take Your Dog to Work Day for the past 3 months. He's a very insightful player, and as you can see, he's full of energy and smiles. So, Robert,
well, we hope to see you back at State Farm Arena, perhaps with Robert as well, should that be permitted anytime soon. I don't know. But anything else you want to leave with our Camp Quarantine audience, Jen?
Not everyone, please stay safe, stay healthy, go Hawks, and hope to see you guys. Super excited to welcome you guys back at State Farm Arena. Take care.
Thank you so much, Jen. Appreciate it. Take care. All right. Love that. See, we've got sports, we've got dogs, we've just blending it all into one. Pride Month. That's what the show's about. We are celebrating every day. I'm going to share something. Normally we start out with a little bit of breath work and some yoga and slow things down, but we thought we'd just jump right into it. But my girlfriend got this new toy. I don't want to even call it a toy, but it's a sound bowl. And I'd love to put this up close to the mic here. And before we get into our next guest, who's very, very excited, and I can see her waiting to be here, I wanted to just share this with you. I've been practicing, so do me a solid. If you don't mind, just sit up straight in your chair. I'm going to try and do the breath work, and just close your eyes, perk up your ears, and I'm going to see if I can't work this guy a little bit. It's a little difficult, but I've been training quite a bit. So close your eyes, sit up straight, and just try and follow the vibrations and sound. I'm not great at it, but I'm working on it. I appreciate y'all sticking with me. But, one of the things that we like to encourage here at Camp Quarantine is certainly being outside, being outdoors. You never know, what's going to happen on the other side of the news, of the politics, of the media, and we try and steer clear of that. But every Friday at 7 o'clock, we hope you'll continue to share and join us back here because we love being outside. We love sharing stories. So the next story I'd like to tell is a little bit about how we've been able to share these stories. We've been going 12 weeks now, so over 3 months strong, and it's been a little difficult. We have had our share of hiccups initially, but thanks to a company and this particular young lady, we've been able to bring you these streams and help raise money. So Dana Bentz from StreamYard has been able to help us by putting on this platform. Dana, how are you? Where are you joining us from?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on the show, Emmerich. I am joining from Portland, Oregon. We're all quarantined in our own houses, but the StreamYard headquarters is right here in Portland, Oregon.
So I wanted to bring you on not only because I don't just owe you, but I got to tell you how appreciative I am that StreamYard has been invented. We've had live streamers on that have talked so much about using various platforms, and obviously the live stream has become so prevalent during this time. I love your product. That's one thing for me to say, but share a little bit about what makes StreamYard unique, and I'll try and showcase some quick features for those who are out there either doing business presentations or live streams like this. I would love to have them use such a simplistic product.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you. So yeah, this show that you run is basically what StreamYard was really meant to do. StreamYard is a live streaming tool that's in your web browser. So you don't have to download anything. You don't have to sign up for StreamYard, but you don't have to download any software. It just runs in the browser, and you can invite guests like Amrit does each week. You have a stacked list of new guests each week on your show, and you can share your screen if you wanted to share a PowerPoint. I don't know if you ever do that, Amrit, sharing a screen of someone's video, but like you just shared The first woman's guest, the first guest you had on, she was so great. You shared her video, so we could all watch that. That was super neat. So you can do all those kind of fancy things to just make your live stream a lot more interesting. That's what StreamYard's really built to do. It's the way to stream a professional stream, and it's the tool to help you do that. So yeah, like you said, I'm the head of marketing here, and that's how we got introduced.
So one of the coolest things, I guess, about StreamYard is just that simplicity. You mentioned that it's something that we have within the browser, which is great. I've used some platforms and hardware and switchers and things like that that do so much of what you guys are able to accomplish within like Chrome or Firefox or whatever. But you guys just made an announcement too. It doesn't even just stop there, right? I'm able to do it on this guy, as I understand, right?
Yep. Yeah, so that feature was just released. I'm glad you brought it up. We're super excited about it. Our developers have been working on it forever. The feature is mobile hosting. So you can now stream, you can start your live stream from your phone. So you can be camping in the middle of nowhere, and as long as you've got internet, you can start live streaming and do all these fun things that you do, like add a guest and put that cool little logo in this corner. And show my name on the screen. You know, you can do all of that from this tiny little, like your phone's a small screen. So I was pretty impressed with how our developers managed to fit it all in there, and it's still functional. We still recommend streaming from your computer just because there's more space on the screen to like, it's a lot of work managing the shows, as you know, Amrit. It's a lot, like pressing the buttons and getting all your guests in. Like you have a lot of guests. Most people just have one guest on their show.
Week one,
impressive.
we learned real quickly. I was using actually it's something I use in tandem, as a matter of fact, OBS. I actually recommend that too, but I use it in tandem with StreamYard to be able to pull in different videos and some effects and things like that, along with a multitude of guests. But week one, we had 2 hours, so we doubled the guests. So normally if we have about 8, we almost had like 20. So I was driving myself mad, but absolutely cannot say enough good things about StreamYard. You mentioned the share screen functionality, so I'm going to just quickly click on here. One click, that's all it takes. I'm not paid in any way to use this, but here I am. I am sharing our Camp Quarantine site. You see, for those of you who are watching on there straight from YouTube, but then if you guys are interested, right at the bottom, we've got StreamYard linked right there. So give it a click and you guys will be able to, I believe, also get a discount thanks to Dana that she has been able to set up for your first month. But I can just, you know, give her priority. I can bow out. She can talk all kinds of different things, and I can bring priority. So can't thank you enough, Dana, for setting it up. And we're going to be using StreamYard for a long time to come. And I think a large part of it is because, you know, the barrier to entry is so small, is so minute. Last thing before I let you go. Favorite camp memory? Come on, it's National Camping Month. Yeah. Everybody loves the outdoors. I'm throwing this on you, so I'm hoping you've got one like tucked away. Story your camp memory.
I do. Okay, so it was a long time ago. Like we're talking, I think I was 7 or 8 or something. I can't even remember the last time I went camping, but it was probably when I was in high school. But this story is from when I was about 7 or 8. My dad had planned this like treasure hunt type of game for us and then one other family that was with us. So it's me and my sister, and then I think there was a boy and another little girl. And so my dad and their dad set up this treasure hunt in this, like on this hike that we were going to go on. And so they spent so much time making this, it was like pirate themed. And so they took a piece of paper and they like burned the edges and they like wet it with
made a treasure map.
Yeah, something like that. And they made the treasure map look so real and so like pirate-esque. And so they hid all these treasure maps, I guess you would call them, along this trail, and they helped us. They kind of like gave us hints finding them. But that was just such a special memory to me because like it was so fun and we had no idea, and we're just like, this is real treasure. You know, when you're 7, you think everything's just real, like you're gullible. But then at the end of the treasure hunt, we got like 100 grand bars or some kind of fun candy. But that was just one story I remember from when I was camping that made like it brings me such fond memories. Like it makes me miss camping, makes me want to go back.
Oh, that's exactly what we want to hear. See, I didn't script that. This is perfect. That's exactly what we needed. This joys and stories of camping. Well, thank you so much for your time, Dana. Again, folks, if you'd like to utilize StreamYard for your businesses, for your personal streams, for anything like that, we would love to have you guys use StreamYard, and you can find that link again on our site at campquarantine.co. Wanted to mention another reason. A lot of folks have asked, all right, great, Amrit, you guys are doing this. You've done it now 12 weeks. Why? Why are you doing it? Well, we wanted to give back in whatever way we know how. Now, Dana and her team is using StreamYard. They're fantastic at that. And without that tool, I wouldn't be able to effectively do my job, which is online marketing. Now, I've been in the events industry, and sports and entertainment are my markets, but right now there's not a whole lot of that. So we wanted to give back, and we have always selected a philanthropic footprint. For the last month and a half, we were donating to the COVID Relief Fund from the Center for Disaster Philanthropy. We raised a couple $1,000s for them, but we said, look, with everything that's going on, we would love to change, and using Color of Change is the charity that we have decided for the month of June to support. So folks, if you don't mind, if you love what we are doing, we encourage you to take a look and support Color of Change. Color of Change is the largest online activist group for racial injustice. You can check them out at colorofchange.org. But our next guest is also finding ways to be able to utilize his own skill sets and tell the news in his own way. Mr. Anup Chaganti has been on something that we have been compared to, that being Some Good News, John Krasinski's show. Anup, if you were there, we'd love to have you chat about what's going on. Anup, how are you?
I'm great. Nice to meet you. Nice to be on the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. It's a little windy, but I hope the camera doesn't blow over. So far, so good. But, you know, the joys of the outdoors. Hope we lost our banner there. But, Anup, where are you joining us from?
So I'm based in Brooklyn, New York right now.
Wow. Okay, so you're East Coast. I understand you're also got some West Coast ties. Is that correct?
That's right. I grew up in the Bay Area, and I went to school in Los Angeles.
So I'm going to just cut to this. I don't know that you even knew that I was going to show this, but let's share a little bit about Mr. Insta Fame, Anup.
Yo, 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 yo. You ever wanted something so bad you'd kill for it? Cause ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to be famous, I wanted to be big. I spent my whole life seeking the spotlight, only to lose sight, not know which path was right. And yeah, I never planned.
So
love
Anup,
it.
I wanted to just pull that up. I don't know if you even knew that I was going to find it, but that was in 2017. Now you have been rapping about the news. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, I've been rapping the news since we launched in May 2019.
So you've been at
Yes,
this
that's right.
long before COVID, long before the quarantine, long before coronavirus. And what is it exactly? Give us a little taste if you don't mind. And I'm happy to pull up a clip if there's one that you particularly think is appropriate.
I mean, it's hard to say which one. I know there's some language in a lot of them, so I'm not sure. Definitely, if you pull up the Some Good News one, I made sure those were PG. But basically, I had spent a couple years working in the political scene in the Bay Area, working at a consulting firm and whatnot as a video producer, and I'm obviously very passionate about progressive politics and making sure that marginalized people have a voice in their communities. And I just ended my job at the political consulting firm, and I had been rapping for years. Music is my deepest passion, and I do it all the time. So I figured, what was the best way to combine my passions and what I was doing in life into a comprehensive portfolio piece. So Rap the News was born because I was doing video producing, I was working in politics, and I also made rap music. And so my start in politics got started in 2018, when a good friend of mine was running for Congress against Nancy Pelosi in San Francisco as a progressive. Now, he was 24 years old at the time, and he was a law student, so he was figuring all this stuff out himself. And when he pitched to me his campaign, I pitched to him a video series called How to Run for Office, because he was figuring out all this information, how to get voter data, how to campaign, how to get endorsements, all these stuff that, the political establishment would sort of hide behind barriers, but he was figuring this information out himself as a 24-year-old. And I thought that it was super valuable to give that information to other people. So when we started How to Run for Office, a video series, that level of education and entertainment was born within me. And I wanted to keep that in Wrap the News by giving people who wouldn't necessarily be so in tune with the news or politics or what was going on in the world, an avenue to experience that in an entertaining sort of way.
I love it. So I'm gonna just go ahead and without further ado, just share you wrapping the news. I think that's very necessary.
Sounds good.
And back for your listening pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, wrap the news anew.
Don't tell me that there ain't good news. Someone tell me that there's gotta be a few. We've seen a lot of healing, seen a lot of screaming. All that matters is that all of us keep on believing. BLM is going global in Berlin, you see it. Racial justice is what all of us demand, we need it. And we're starting to see corporations' plans perceive it. Mandate's about to launch a new range of skin tones this season. Even crayons about to be more brown, don't doubt the meaning. When you're recognized and represented, man, displeasing. No more statues of Confederates, that's wrong and decent. Birmingham and Jacksonville and more are gone this evening. IBM is getting rid of vision tech deceiving. Darker faces, no more selling cops or information. Finally, we got a holiday for corporations. Nike, Twitter celebrating Juneteenth, amazing. That's the good news for this week. They say don't be complacent.
And back for your listening pleasure.
There it is.
So I don't know that I was distracted by anything necessarily, but oh my gosh, how do you do the little pencil thing? You've got to show me. Is there a trick to that? Do you have a pencil handy? Because I don't know. I gotta know.
Oh man,
I gotta know.
That is true. That is true. I wish I had my pens with me. I could quickly grab it, but that'd be bad.
No worries, no worries. I'm just making jokes. I love it.
No,
I want to know how folks can find more. You're doing these. You put these out every week, correct?
Yeah, correct. Every Monday there's a new episode, and I will start expanding. I think there's going to be more content on the page, so more than one episode a week. I also, in addition to the channel, I do some good news wrap every week or so, and they generally post it every 10 days. So if you're in tune to the Some Good News channel, you could see the good news of the week there too.
Anoop, the official Some Good News correspondent, perhaps we'll have you back. Would love to have you back. But since we've got the Brown theme going, I just figured perhaps we'll just go right on into the next. So our next guest happens to be a gentleman who's actually out west. So we're covering all kinds of angles. We got Oregon with Dana. We had New York with you, Atlanta down, but now I think it's only fitting that we share LA. Jigar Thakarar is our next guest. Jigar, say hey. What'd you think about Anoop's rap? You think you can mix something with that? Jigar? We're waiting on your audio here, Jigar. He can hear us, I think. There we go. What'd you think about Anoop's rap? You there?
Yeah, now I can hear you. You guys hear me?
There you go. Yeah, I just wanted to say we're covering all the brown corners over here. Atlanta, New York, LA over here. But Anoop, we'll catch up with you a little later. Hopefully we'll have you on another future show. But wanted to say thanks again. I appreciate it. And enjoy the rest of your weekend, and looking forward to the next episode on Monday. Jigar, there we go. Perfect. Jigar Thakarar, how are you, man? Last time we saw each other was actually out west. I know this is a difficult time for you, but I look to and I just see thriving. Talk to us a little bit. We brought you on today because it is National DJ Month, but I know you are a big fan of camping as well. So share a little bit about what you've been up to here during quarantine, and certainly how you jumped into this trade.
Well, let's just clarify. When you say camping, you mean glamping for me. As you know, I'm a big fan of the luxury experiences, so I'd love to do a glamping quarantine with you someday. But things are great out here in LA. As you mentioned, I've made some big changes in my life, and going from about 20 years in the corporate entertainment world to right into the DJ booth. I'm concentrating on music now. and I'm going to be, focusing on DJing and production of music in the electronic music space, hopefully 2020 and beyond. So it's an exciting year for me, and obviously being at home quite a bit. You guys are here with me in my place in Hollywood. I've been able to really concentrate and try and master the craft, really focus on the technical side before hopefully things end and I'll be able to really get out there, pound the pavement, and make a name for myself.
So now going from entertainment, I guess it's a lot easier, maybe not. Talk to us about that shift. That's what I'd love to get your take on. I mean, you being on the opposite side, if you will, of the DJ booth or behind the scenes, and now to kind of being front and center and kind of paving your own path, whether it be on live streams now amidst the pandemic and the quarantine and things like that. What's been the easiest? What's been most difficult for you? How have you kind of navigated that shift?
Yes, surprisingly, I think the easiest thing was actually what I anticipated to be the hardest, which was actually learning the skill of DJing and mixing and really, performance elements. And what I thought would be difficult actually really came very naturally and organically to me. I've been, listening to the music since I was 13, and not to age myself, I'm 42 now, so you can do the math. I've really been immersed in electronic music, the culture, the lifestyle for most of my adult life. And I think that's really helped me kind of, and to pave the way to sort of really feel and experience the music and to be able to perform it from a really personal perspective has been really kind of the most fun thing. It's really probably the first time that I've been able to really explore my creative side. I've found that my passion really is electronic music, but more so, I love playing music for other people. I like curating it. I like telling a story. I like hitting different emotions when I'm playing a DJ set, whether that be live or on mixes that I've released. As we've all been in quarantine, I decided that, what I would do given, all this time I've traveled around the world is kind of bring some of the experiences and some of the influences to people. So I launched a DJ mix series on my Instagram called Take Me Back. The first installment was Take Me Back to Tulum, one of the epicenters right now for cutting edge house music and a lot of the more innovating sounds in the global landscape. And so took my travels there, put them into a mini mix. So you can listen to those on my Instagram page. There's a link. There's also a link on my SoundCloud where you can stream them live from there. It's gotten over 1,000 streams so far, so I'm really excited to release a few more coming up.
Now, I understand you're going to stick around and play something for us to kind of close out, but what kind of music would you say? I know electronic has so many different classifications. What draws you to, I guess, your particular preference?
Well, for me, I really like sort of uplifting and melodic sounds. So I guess you would kind of, things that sort of create happiness, euphoria. Oftentimes, there'll be a little bit of melancholy in there. It'll trigger, different emotions, but they're all definitely suited towards, making you feel something, making you want to dance, making you want to think about happy thoughts. So I would kind of describe my genre as melodic and deep house and techno, uplifting, and really sort of sophisticated sounds for, more likely, an audience that has, experienced a wide breadth of electronic music and is looking for that sort of cutting edge, really classy and sophisticated vibe.
Love it. So we are going to get to hear that, and you'll close out the show with us in just a bit. Is that cool?
Absolutely. I can't wait to play some great beats for the Camp Quarantine family. Happy Friday, everybody, and excited to play some music for you. Feel free to dance or just groove at home or wherever you're at.
Good deal. Well, Jigger, thanks so much. We're going to catch up with you in just a bit. He's going to play us out just like we did last week to celebrate National DJ Month. Well, another reminder, folks, the reason for the stream today is we are raising funds for Color of Change. Take a look at their website at colorofchange.org, and you guys can donate directly to them. They are the largest digital organization, that is advocating for racial justice. So that is the reason we are here and continuing the stream. But if you like what we're doing, give us a share below, give us a like, give us a follow. It's okay. CampQuarantine.co is going to be here to stay. Now, because it's National Camping Month, I figured, why not share some great places to go camping? Who doesn't want to have a unique July 4th? Well, let's take a look at some of the best national parks to go camping. So as much as we like to think about being out there, there is really nothing about watching a video that you can get from just packing the car, packing a friend, grabbing some s'mores, and going. What are your favorite treats for camp? Let us know in the comments below. We're going to feature them, and we've got a special prize for those who engage. But why don't we continue our stream? You guys who are watching certainly know that we love campfires, but in order to go somewhere, you got to go to the grocery store. Honestly, going to the grocery store these days feels a little like a scene from the Avengers.
One round trip each. No mistakes. No do-overs. Most of us are going somewhere we know. That doesn't mean we should know what to expect. Be careful. Look out for each other. This is the fight of our lives. And we're gonna win. Whatever it takes. Good luck.
Whatever it takes. Well, our next guest is going to do whatever it takes from the wilderness to make sure that we get those s'mores. James Harris is in El Paso, Texas, and we're going to go to dance just after this, but let's see how to start that fire.
James Harris. I have a YouTube channel called A Junkyard Box. Apologize for my terrible handwriting. And my channel is about wilderness adventures. I do a lot of camping, wilderness skills, hunting and trapping, fishing, gear reviews. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, that's what I do. Now, of course, being in this situation, stay at home, it's been a little bit of a, I've had cabin fever, so I'm doing the best that I can, and I'm doing my skills out here in my yard. You can still practice your skills. So what I wanted to demonstrate is how to make a flint and steel fire. Now, this is one of the oldest forms of fire making for humanity. I mean, it goes back to the Viking era, the Roman times. So what you need is a piece of carbon steel, some char. What I'm using right now is just a burnt up char of a washcloth, and a flint rock or something like that. It could be a hard rock like church, for example. And then some dead grass, basically what you would call a bird's nest to ignite. Now, I'm not going to make a strong fire, obviously, because I am in the city, but I'm just going to demonstrate how to do that. So I have the cloth on the rock, and I'm going to strike. See if I can catch that on camera. Got to get a good angle. Let me try a different
That's
rock.
a lot different than just a regular match, huh? You got this. Does fire light differently in Texas?
See that?
Hey!
Okay, so we're gonna place this in there. Hopefully you can see it. Okay, and now we're gonna blow into it.
Look at the expert. Well done.
I'm gonna add a little bit more char here.
Next up, some s'mores. Well done, James.
I'm gonna put this out. But yeah, a very simplistic way to make fire. You just got to find the right angle on the rock. And yeah, good stuff. So once again, if you're interested, go ahead and check out my channel, Junkyard Fox, on YouTube. We also have an Instagram page as well, if you're interested. So thank you guys so much for having me on here.
Thank you so much, James. Now we've got our fire to set in the back, but as you can see, part of the show is to inspire and showcase what can happen when folks are under pressure. Right now, so many people have different stresses, but speaking of pressure, figured we'd leave you with one last clip before heading into dance. As we come up on the end of our show, I wanted to thank all of you viewers again. Be nice to each other. Cover your face. Don't wash your hands. Don't touch your face. So many different things. Just be good. Have fun and enjoy your weekend. Folks, we're going to close out with DJ Jigger Thakrar on the ones and twos. Ladies and gentlemen, from Los Angeles, California, DJ Jigger Thakrar. I hope y'all are dancing over there. Thank you so much. Happy Friday. Our next show is going to be the day before July 4th to kick off your wonderful weekend. July 3rd, meet us back here, 7 p.m., Camp Quarantine. We're going to close out and leave you with some visuals, drone footage from, since we had everybody up and down the West Coast, why not? The PCH Highway 1 as Jigger Thucker takes us into the night. Push those chairs aside and get dancing. See you next week, guys. Happy Friday. Enjoy Camp Quarantine.
Hold your laptop.